Coming to you from Bravo Performing Arts. This is Hour to Empower, the podcast created by Brooks students for Brooks students.
Today you'll hear many of our series, including What's Dup, Empower News, Any Night Live, Blow the Whistle, Traveling in Quarantine.
Okay, enjoy the show.
Welcome to ANL, Any Night Live, your place to listen to hilarious sketches hosted by Tekla. The sketch today is Coronavirus versus the World. Sit back, relax, and enjoy.
Welcome to what may be the most important trial of the eon. Coronavirus is being sued by, the world, for murder, the closing of business, and purposeful cancellation of prom. Opening statement, sir.
Well, you see, this virus here, call her Rona, please, is very misunderstood. She just wanted to travel the world. She wanted to live with other people and cause a bit of chaos. A bit? Shut up! Anyway, she just wanted to have some fun. However, she was hated from the start. Everyone was talking about how to prevent her, protect themselves from her, and stop her. She's a nice woman. Thank you, Your Honor.
Well, that's simply interesting. Now, ma'am.
Coronavirus or Rona? Come around, shut down her businesses, schools, and restaurants. She killed 1 million people and got many more sick. Do you know how many kids had to spend hours and hours with their annoying parents? How many meals were spent at home that could have been spent at restaurants? Thank you, Your Honor.
Thank you, ma'am. You may now present your evidence.
Well, here goes. I sued the coronavirus due to the fact that she not only killed innocent human beings, but she also closed businesses and schools, took away the jobs of millions, and, she canceled the prom. Exhibit A, the dead body of a...
There are children present, ma'am.
Very well. Exhibit B, the going virtual flyer printed out by this gym. It was very clearly stated that it was going to be virtual due to coronavirus. This same gym later closed, so it was not getting the money it normally would be because none of its customers were coming in. Not that they had a ton.
Very well. Do you have any witnesses?
Yes, I do. Layla White. She's knighted, by the way.
Huh?
Hello, I'm Layla, and I'm here to talk.
Do you swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Sure.
Thank you.
As I was saying, I got coronavirus. That Rona was inside of me. She tried to kill me. She made it hard to breathe. She made me cough, and it was terrible. I had to wear a mask and lay in bed for hours and hours, days even. She made my family worry and made doctors stressed. I hated it. Thankfully, she left my body and decided to move on. I am one of the lucky ones.
Very well. You may question her, sir.
Well, Layla, I have a few questions.
Yes?
Are you actually knighted?
Yes, I'm Lady Layla White. I don't like to be called that, though.
Interesting. What was it like to have Rona in your body?
Absolutely terrible.
Yes. Well, I would think it was just as terrible as Rona's experience was, being inside of you.
Hey!
One more question. Is it true that the entire time you were sick, you were with your family?
Yes.
Would you say you were with them more than normal?
Well, yes.
That is a plus side of your sickness.
Yes.
Can I safely say that while having Rona in your body was terrible, there was more than one plus side?
Well, you just stated one, but if you state another, then maybe.
Do you watch any TV shows?
Yes, but that is off the point.
It may seem like that, but it is not. Did you indeed get to finish any TV show that you may have been wanting to watch during, with all the time at home and spent in bed?
Okay, maybe. But that's only 2.
Well, it is more than one.
Fine, you win. On that topic.
Thank you, Your Honor.
You may now present your case, sir.
Thank you. Now, I did not bring any witnesses, just my words.
That's not. You know what? Just go ahead. I have to go soon.
So, you may think that Rona is bad, but she isn't. She is good. Everyone listening, think about how Rona made you stay home and actually look at who lived in your house. Think about how she made humans find a new way to live. Think about all the inspiring videos on YouTube. Think about how, well, let's see here. Didn't that one girl get the entire Hamilton cast to sing to her? And don't get me started on how early Frozen 2 was put on Disney+. All because of Rona. And those mask things, they were comfy.
Sir, that makes no sense.
Why not?
Silence. Closing statements?
Sir,
Silence.
I have no closing statement.
Ma'am?
I do not believe that this is fair. That is it.
Well then, thank you. It's high time we come to a decision. We find that Rona is guilty. Guilty of murder, closing of businesses, and cancellation of prom. She is also guilty of teaching others to make sourdough and forcing them to be creative. Now, have a face show.
What?
Welcome to Traveling in Quarantine. I'm your host, Murray Spencer. Today we are going to talk about Mexico and interview someone who went to Mexico. Mexico is a beautiful country. It has beaches, mountains, a volcano, lakes, waterfalls, and more. Mexico is made up of 31 states and 1 federal district. It is the 3rd largest country in Latin America and has one of the largest populations, making it home of more Spanish speakers than any other nation in the world. Now that you know a little about Mexico, let's talk to someone that went to Mexico. I'm going to interview Brad Spencer for Traveling in Quarantine interview. Hello, Brad.
Hello.
How's your day going?
Great. Thanks for asking.
Do you mind if I ask you some questions today about Mexico?
I don't mind at all. Go right ahead.
Okay, let's start with question 1. Question 1. Where did you go in Mexico?
It was Cancun, Mexico.
Anywhere else?
Nope, that's it.
Okay. Question 2. Why did you go to Mexico?
We went to Cancun, Mexico for a wedding last year.
Okay, cool. What kinds of food did they eat in Mexico?
Oh, we ate some delicious tacos, burritos, enchiladas, just some fantastic Mexican cuisine.
Okay. Yummy. Question 4. How did you get to Mexico?
Well, we flew by plane.
Okay. How much hours did that take?
I believe it was maybe 3-hour plane ride. Close to 4.
Okay.
Quite a trip.
Yeah. Question 5. Would you recommend going to Mexico to a family member or a friend, and why?
Oh, I would absolutely, because not only is the food delicious in Mexico, the environment is just nice. The beaches and the warm weather is just great. And yes, I would absolutely recommend it to anyone.
Okay, I want to go there now.
Yes, you should, definitely.
I want to go everywhere. Well, that is all for Traveling in Quarantine this week. Thank you for letting me interview you, Brad.
Well, you're welcome, and thank you for inviting me. This has been really great.
Thank you for listening. See you next time on Traveling in Quarantine.
Bye, everybody.
And now for a word from our sponsors.
Glasses, an object that over 1 billion people use. But how effective are they? Sure, they help clear your vision, but that is no match to the downsides. For example, cleaning them every few hours is a pain. and the soreness on your ears after you've been wearing them for hours really hurts. And don't get me started on how many people ask to try them on. But if you call 197-839, don't call this number, then a box will show up at your door for only $5. Inside the box will be a device that will go to the nearest pair of glasses, pop out the lenses, and will carry the lenses to the nearest garbage can and put them in. After that, when you put on your glasses, you'll start living a happier, more joyful life. Possible side effects may include blurry vision, running into pools, and possibly death. So are you ready to get back on your feet? Then go ahead and order this product. You must be 18 years older to order.
Hello and welcome to news, report, announcement, story, account, or anything you might want to call this. Today we're discussing number 45. Number 45, Donald Trump.
Biden has won. I guess this is done being recorded. It could be for interests in the future about the past. We're not entirely sure.
This one was back in February. We will skip to October afterwards. On February 10th, Trump had said that the coronavirus dies with the hotter weather. Currently autumn right now and past summer, and I honestly see no difference in cases that involve the weather in any way. And I have noticed that the colder it gets, the more they open things up. Probably part of the deafening Trump's irrational claims. But, as of a few days ago, things might go back under again.
Around the beginning of October, Trump caught the virus. He was at a crowded area before he tested positive. This gives me more concern for the spread. You really don't want to be around other people right now, especially people who have the virus. It is very irresponsible for someone like the president to get out knowing he is sick with the virus and yet talking and interacting with other people. At the vice presidential debates, Mike Pence had claimed, "We have done everything to keep the virus under control." It sounds like what Trump said, "I was trying not to worry about anybody." Worrying us is a way to get the virus actually under control. The more we work with it, the more we will prepare and get it over with, which is the exact opposite of what we have done so far. Mike Pence said in the vice presidential debate that one life lost is too many. We've clearly lost more than one life. There are about 8.78 million cases in the USA and 226,000 deaths.
Night of the debate, October 22nd. Trump says, "I get treated worse than the Tea Party was treated. Because I have a lot of people in there, deep down, the IRS, they treat me horribly." Also on the same night, Biden had said, he says we're learning to live with it. People are learning to die with it. Maybe you have a different take for that small part of the sentence, but the way I see it, it's an actual good way to explain how 2020 is not really working right now.
The Clash for Democracy. Reporting on November 6th, the votes are still being counted. Upper Cup for Georgia yesterday, Trump was digging his fingernails into Georgia to hang on to the cliff they were sending him over. Trump is now not leading by any points, so Biden could still win. Winning a southern state is just like someone baked you a cake for no apparent reason. Nevada, Pennsylvania, and North Carolina are still being counted in Georgia. In Pennsylvania, Biden has regained control, and Trump is clinging on to hope in North Carolina. This is going to be epic.
Biden sold his first ticket in Pennsylvania and wrapped up the election, but Trump has still not conceded. The fight is definitely not over. The Trump administration has proposed the idea of fighting Biden in the court so that they can see if legal work can go in their favor. But truth be told, legal action cannot affect the outcome enough to switch this result around. The people have spoken, and they have made the decision of appointing Joe Biden as the next president of the USA.
Let's just stop the train for a minute and acknowledge how awesome this is. Joe Biden, willing to take the launch of COVID-19, has become the next president, and Kamala Harris, the first woman, the first woman of color to be
stolen from their grasp. Biden was elected fair and square.
The people have spoken.
Hello, everybody, and welcome back to Blow the Whistle, the craziest, most amazing sports podcast out there. Today, we're going to look at one of the best players in the NFL and in sports. Today, on our Spotlight segment, is DeAndre Hopkins, one of the best, maybe the best wide receiver in the game right now. His strength, speed, awe-inspiring catches, and explosive plays are what put him in this Spotlight segment. Now, let's get into it. He started his career in 2013 with Texas and was on that team for a long time. Since his start in 2013, he has gotten better and better. This year, he has switched to the Cardinals, and with a new quarterback that has a great arm and can throw it far, Kyler Murray, he is looking good. So good on a team some predicted he wouldn't do good with. DeAndre Hopkins, aided by Kyler Murray, has really improved the Arizona teams. Hopkins also did this with an injury. Some games he didn't play, but some he has with a sensitive ankle from an injury. Now, obviously, we need to talk about the amazing play against the Bills that secured his spot in this segment. Last Sunday against the Bills, in the last 10 seconds of the game, the Cardinals were down 4 points at midfield, and it looked impossible. Then, Kyler Murray threw it all the way to the end zone where Hopkins was waiting. 3 defenders on him, looking like an impossible catch. DeAndre jumped up like a swan, soaring through the air, grabbed the ball through the defender's hands, and came down with the ball, scoring a touchdown to win the game. Here's the clip.
DeAndre Hopkins! Miraculous! It's Murray magic!
As you can see, the whole stadium hyped after that amazing catch that puts DeAndre Hopkins in the Spotlight segment. Thank you for listening to today's segment, and I hope you have a great day. Can't wait to see you next time on Blow the Whistle. I'm your host, Liam Nikolakakis, signing out.
And now for a word from our sponsors.
Hi, I'm Albert Lansley with the Lansley Law Group, here to tell you about our wonderful services. Are you tired of that tacky wallpaper in your grandma's house, which is all you inherited after her passing? Burn that baby down and collect that sweet, sweet cash. We'll defend you. Plus, you can go buy a new wallpaper for your house with that insurance money. Need a new identity to leave the country because you committed arson? Don't worry, we can get you one. Crash your car after speeding away from cops? Don't worry, we'll get you a new Corvette. Have you finally been caught for crashing your car, burning down your house, and fleeing the country? Don't worry, we're criminal lawyers too, so remember to call 601-666-6666 for the Lansley Law Group. Please do not do anything said in this ad. It was a gag joke for a podcast. Brought to you by Silas Lemmy and Silas II.
Hello, everybody, and welcome again to What's Dup, a segment where we talk about what's trending up, what's trending down, and what's good. Today's episode is going to be about, drum roll please, music! Now, so many people love music, whether it's rap or jazz or church and gospel, which is why this episode is going to be extra special. It will be directed towards people of all ages, races, genders, interests, and more. Because, as I've said, everybody loves music. So, today we have a special guest. You're not just going to hear me talk, but you will also hear a Brooks band teacher's perspective on what teaching during remote learning is like. To start off, let me tell you a bit about a very special band teacher, Mr. Davis. I chose Mr. Davis because he has helped me progress and get better at my musical abilities. And he's an incredibly humorous, enthusiastic, and educational person. I mean, you can't get much better than that. Mr. Davis is a Brooks band teacher that I've been so incredibly lucky to have as my band teacher. Mr. Davis specializes in multiple different types of instruments. His first instrument that he learned to play, as well as one that he still plays today and really enjoys, is the piano. I gotta say, the piano is a nice instrument. His favorite styles of music are, in this order, jazz, classical, and sometimes he listens to pop music to understand what kids are obsessing over these days. Well, honestly, I think that's quite smart. So hello from the other side. I must have called 1,000 times. Sorry, I have to say, pop music is pretty catchy. He also enjoys cooking. And I'm not talking about some simple PB&J cooking. I'm talking about real, complex, incredibly scrumptious cooking. Trust me, his dad was a chef. So you sure can bet that he's got a few tricks up his sleeve. In fact, did you know that originally he didn't even want to join band? You see, his mom signed him up when he was a kid. And in fact, starting in 8th grade, he knew that he wanted to be a band teacher. And I am very thankful that he pursued a career in band. Did I tell you the show that he put on for Halloween? Yeah, you should ask him about it. So now, without further ado, please welcome Mr. Davis. Hi, everybody. Currently, I am standing, or sitting since we're doing a video call, yay, in front of Mr. Davis. Hello.
Hi, Kieran. How are you?
Good, how are you?
Well, I'm doing pretty good. Thank you for asking.
Awesome. So, today, I'm here to talk to you about teaching band during remote learning. The first question is, have there been any band-related challenges when teaching virtually? If so, what are some of the difficulties you experience?
So there are a lot of challenges that I think all teachers and students would agree with about not being in the same room together and how we can gauge what students need extra help with and see what they're doing well at. With band in particular, though, because we aren't in the same room together, we have to rely on Zoom, and with Zoom there's a lag, so we can't actually play music together at the same time.
Right.
And that's like one of the biggest components of band. It's why people sign up for band, because we get to play music together.
Mm-hmm.
That's like one of the most unique and special parts of playing in a class like band or orchestra or chorus, is that we're all producing this music and we're creating it at the same time, and it's a really special experience, but we can't do that when we are on Zoom the same way we would in the band room.
Right.
So that's been a big challenge to overcome, and I think we all agree we're sad and we miss it. However, we have been able to focus on more individual playing components. We get to focus a little more on music theory and composition. So I would say the biggest challenge is that we don't get to play music together at the same time.
Right. Awesome. Though that is kind of unfortunate, because that is one of my favorite things about band.
Yeah, I think that's why everybody, think about why we sign up for band is it's a fun experience to play music at the same time with your friends and your classmates.
Right. All right, my next question is, what attributes about virtual learning feel especially different to you when teaching band compared to teaching in person?
I think one of the biggest features is the energy. And I know that sounds a little vague, but when you have a classroom of 40, between 30 and 45 students, and that's how big each band class is, between 30 and 45 students, there's a lot of energy. And we use that energy to motivate ourselves when we're playing. We use it to inspire one another. It's exciting. It can be challenging, of course, but it's exciting we can't replicate that energy over Zoom.
Right.
We have other ways, of course, and I think it's been fun learning some new ways to keep everyone excited and engaged. However, that's probably one of the biggest things for me personally, is not having that energy of all these people in the same room together getting work done.
Right. Yeah. That's actually really interesting because, like, the energy, like, as you were saying, is, like, really one of the best parts about band. And my final question is, what advice would you give to a band teacher struggling to gain a connection with his or her students during remote learning?
I think, and you probably have noticed that I do this in class, not all the time, but I try to do it often,
Right.
is I'll try to find something silly or interesting or engaging that really doesn't have anything to do with band. Some of our questions that I ask you at the beginning of class, it doesn't have to be about band at all. Really what it is, and I'm interested in you. I want to know what you are doing as a student. So I would recommend that to some band teachers that are struggling, is let's find some ways to connect with students, whether it's movies, some point of interest. It doesn't have to be about band at all. And just talk about it, because I think that's what we need to be spending a lot of time doing on Zoom, is learning how to interact with each other through these cameras. It doesn't have to always be about music.
Right. Yeah, I completely understand that. I remember one of my favorite questions that we did at the beginning of class was, what was your favorite snack? Because I really like to share that I love Chex Mix.
You know what? That's my favorite snack too. The bowl mix, to be specific.
Yes, for sure. All right. Thank you very, very much, Mr. Davis, for allowing me to interview you about teaching band during remote learning. I really appreciate it. That's all for the interview. Have a nice day. All right. That was an incredible interview. Thank you, Mr. Davis. And anybody that doesn't like Chex Mix? Well, let's just say, anyways, as you can see, teaching band during remote learning is very difficult. But if you teach it like Mr. Davis, the kids will love it. I'm not kidding. You got first-hand witnessing right here. Anyways, before I end this episode, let's talk about music. Trending music. Trending down music. Just music. To start off, let me talk to you about number one hit music. Currently, there's an Ariana song topping the chart. No surprise there. Way back earlier in 2020, though, we had other songs topping the charts. But I mean, who remembers Dance Monkey or Blinding Lights or Maroon 5's Memories? Well, I do. The Dylan Francis remix for that song was quite impressive. In fact, talking about dance music, this leads me to our next section. Dance music! With people like Kygo, Diplo, and Disclosure releasing albums during the pandemic, dance music fans have really gotten it good. So, lucky for you, Kygoians, if that's what you want to be called, you're on a trending up! Listen to this to see what I'm talking about. That was Kygo, a pretty skilled Norwegian DJ. So, as you can tell, dance music is kind of thriving. You might think not, because concerts are kind of like the dance thing. But still, music is still being released. Now, what music is trending down? Well, I would say, sadly, jazz. Now, before you start judging, hear me out, okay? It's not that I don't like jazz. In fact, I love it. But it has been going downhill ever since, well, I would say the 60s. So, once a pandemic hit, not too many people, no people, are going inside, singing loudly and dancing jam-packed together. So, jazz music is not thriving. I'm sorry, Mr. Davis. So, I hope you liked the episode today. So signing off for now. Bye!
This was the Hour to Empower podcast, a podcast by Brooks students for Brooks students. We are your essential source for news, comedy, interviews, and more. Hour to Empower is brought to you by Bravo Performing Arts at Gwendolyn Brooks Middle School. For more information on how you can be a part of the shows, clubs, and classes offered by Bravo, please go to bravoperformingarts.org and follow us on YouTube for the latest episodes of Hour to Empower. Thank you for listening.